Hello humans, this is Random Guy and welcome to the Random Channel. Today we're going to be continuing playing Medieval Fantasy Wizard's Choice Chapter 6. This is part 3 and let us begin. Last time was a little bit of an embarrassing situation that I created myself. I knew this would happen, but I still wanted to do this because this seemed quite a bit of fun, and it was fun. I got 4 morale out of it. I did lose 2 life and it was a little embarrassing, but alright, whatever. You waste no time opening the new spell books and you frantically begin to study them. You are so intent on this that you are oblivious to all of the commotion around you, from the revealing demons in the room, not even Thanatos. Indeed, sometime later, you do not even realize that Azazel is back until she puts a strong manicured hand on your shoulder. She demands that you practice the astral projection spell at least once before she will be satisfied that you know it. You agree that it would be nice to have some practice, so you cast it. Mana degree 6. Carefully you incite the incantation and concentrate. Suddenly you are floating up towards the ceiling. At first, you're afraid that you will float right up through the roof, but then you start to understand and how to control your movement. You regard your body below, which is sitting on the stone bench where you left it. Your body has not slumped over as you might have thought. Rather, your frame appears to be frozen shut, along with your eyes. After you spend some time flying around the room, which you must admit is fun, the spell ends and you pulled back into your body. Good, says Azazel when you return. Now what of the soul crushing spell? You will need this to harvest power in the next world. Again, you believe you understand the spell, but you have not attempted it. Perhaps Azazel would be willing to give you a demon to crush. After all, doesn't Azazel have a vested interest in your success? So why wouldn't she want to give you the resources you need? Best of all, you will get a little revenge while you're sucking up power. Azazel, you are the most powerful and wise. I, on the other hand, okay, I'm going to read this in a more different tone. Azazel, you are the most powerful and wise. I, on the other hand, am merely a weak mortal. To aid me in my quest, I beg you to allow me to crush a soul within your house. The scorpion-tailed boy that brought me here. You point to Thanatos, who is currently dry humping the floor and moaning in delight. Fuck, that's fucking hilarious. Thanatos would provide excellent practice for the harvesting spell, as well as a sizable boost in power. Oh man, Azazel regards Thanatos for a moment, and last Thanatos, that is what you call him, the one who assumes a submissive position. A very good name. She laughs again. And to use me to dispose of an enemy? Why, I think you are shaping up to be a proper demon. You bow your head humbly, smiling to yourself. You have a lot of nerve asking me for anything. I had plans for that one. His former lord would pay a tidy sum to have him back under his care. However, I should rather you not crush one of my minions. Azazel look at you for a moment, almost with affection. Her demonic beauty hits you like a hammer. It takes all of your will to look away, lest you be charmed by her. Very well, she says. He is yours. You nod, unsheath your dagger, and begin walking towards distracted Thanatos. Not here. What sort of reward room do you think I am running? She says. With a signal from Azazel, Behemoth suddenly emerges from shadows and lumbers over to the distracted Thanatos. Without a word, Behemoth grabs the smaller demon with his 4 hands, one around Thanatos' neck, another for his scorpion tail, and one around Thanatos' wrist. And Behemoth then drags Thanatos out of the fountain room. No, Thanatos shouts at Azazel. I gave you this fool, and this is how you repay me. Kill him before he destroys you. I swear this cursed wizard will be the end of you. Thanatos, I want to see a cool scene, like a really cool scene where they have like tied Thanatos to a fucking board or something, and then stabs him with a knife or whatever, and that use the soul crushing spell, and it's huge lights and overwhelming power, and our main character is just laughing menacingly or something like that. That would be super fucking cool. Thanatos suddenly kicks Behemoth's hand, securing Thanatos' tail. The kick is well aimed and ferocious. Behemoth's grip is weakened enough for Thanatos to break his tail free. You're unsure how many times Thanatos is stung before he lets go of you're unsure how many times Behemoth is stung before he goes off Thanatos. Thanatos then sprints away. Behemoth lets out a roar of rage and begins his slow pursuit. No, orders Azazel. Let the wizard do it. I have 10 mana. How am I supposed to do it? 30 life and 10 mana? It would have been nice for Azazel to have done at least one thing for you before embarking on a quest for her evil mistress. There will certainly be enough dangers ahead without any side adventures. On the other hand, crushing Thanatos' soul would provide you with a needed boost of power, and you could finally be rid of him. I actually want to kill him really bad. So I'm here thinking that, what should I do exactly? Like, should I go after him? Should I not go after him? Because he clearly said Thanos stops at the doorway and grins at you. Come, let us end this. And then he runs off. Like, if I kill him, I think I should get a lot of power. And I have the morale to spend. But I don't know if I can fight him with just 10 mana and 13 life. Fuck me. Like, should I boost? Spend. Oh, I have spendable shit. So that's yeah, my mana is gonna go away with that stuff. That's the problem. Like, I don't know if I should spend it. I think there should be a pathway, even to go after him, and I don't think I would die. I've been doing like well enough somehow. Let's just chase after him. Thanatos may be baiting you with his taunt, but you don't care. Finally, you have the opportunity to make him pay for his cruelty and treachery. As you sprint out of the fountain room, you see Thanatos on the far side of the hall, about to duck into another room. In your estimation, Thanatos is faster runner than you. You will not be able to chase him down. However, he may run into a dead end or otherwise trap himself if you can just stay on his trail. On the other hand, maybe you could strike him from here with a lightning bolt. It will be a difficult shot since he is some distance away and is a moment away from cover behind the door. Another option is to turn invisible. He is not looking at you and will not see you disappear. Perhaps he will not run so fast if he does not think he is being pursued. I don't want to spend mana, so I'm just gonna chase him. Oh, my life decreased. Yeah, you gotta trade off in this show. Like, you have to trade something off. Run down the hall. Thanatos glances back with a razor smile, enters through the door and shuts it behind him. You rush to afterwards, opening the door, begin running into this room. However, Thanatos is gone. You stop. Ambush, you realize. You hear a sound and look over to see Thanatos appear from behind a pillar, moving fast. You dodge, but his stinker stings into your hip. The venom is fast acting and agonizing. My life decreases even more. You grapple with him, stabbing with your dagger. Thanatos scratches you, sinks his razor teeth into your arm. Through ferocity derived from your hatred of this creature and brilliant luck, you are holding your own in this fight despite Thanatos' physical superiority. Finally, Thanatos pulls you to the ground on top of him, and then with his cloven hooves kicks you into the air over his head. You land a few meters away, swiftly get to your feet. Thanatos is facing you, crouched slightly, poised for battle. I recommend you run, wizard. Thanatos smiles diplomatically. As I have said, I am only a drop in the ocean of the abyss. Save your vengeance for another. Besides, you know you cannot win this. Thanatos slashes air with his scorpion tail. You consider your spell power and how that may even the odds. Another option is to attempt to ally with Thanatos against Azazel. At least long enough to stab him in the back. Finally, you could take his advice and run. Oof. See, this is the situation. I don't trust anyone in this place. Like, I literally don't trust anyone, especially Thanatos. I don't trust him. So I have to spend the mana, unfortunately, because I can't do Firebolt him because I'm pretty damn sure he's just going to dodge it and my life is going to go down. So let's do this. Mana decreases 4, life decreases 1, morale increases 3. Thanatos is poised to act and so nearly dodges your bolt of lightning. However, you still manage to clip him in the side, blasting him onto his back. He is still alive, so you pounce upon him, slashing and stabbing with your dagger. Thanatos manages to scratch you, but otherwise it is a pretty one-sided fight. Achievement unlock, revenge. Okay, revenge is a kind of wild justice. I mean, I get what Sir Francis Bacon, whatever name is that, but what he's trying to say, I just don't like the word justice a whole lot. So whenever justice comes into any sort of situation, I'm just like, whatever. But whatever, okay. So morale decreases 2, mana increases 16, life increases 2. So I have loads of mana now. Vicious black blood spills onto the floor as you slit Thanatos' throat. As he bleeds out, you recite the arcane words of the soul-crushing spell. Tingling spread across your body as you suck power from his departing soul. You are not sure where his weakened life force will end up. Probably back to his demon lord. What? You are not sure where his weakened life force would end up. But I crushed his soul. Why would it end up back to his lord? That makes no sense. Probably back to his demon lord. You don't care, as long as you never see him again. Well done, says Azazel as she strides into the room with Behemoth beside her. Okay. Checkpoint reached. Good job. Alright, now with all the preliminaries, right? Now with all the preliminaries taken care of, let us move on to your quest, says Azazel. Oh, but first take this. She hands you a small book. This spell book contains only one spell, a gate spell, your means of return. It will take a great deal of mana to trigger. I wonder where you would provide when you would provide this cell. You say, looking around. I suppose this is an adequate study environment. Oh, there is no time to linger here, she says. How am I supposed to return without knowing the gate spell? You protest. We have a long walk ahead, she says. I will lead you. The succubus that leads you through a myriad of corridors in her mansion until she reaches a map that has been carved in stone relief over an entire wall. The landscape is not familiar to you, although this is hardly surprising. I'm not sure what a stone relief is. Azazel commands you to look away, and you do. You try to sneak a peek, but find yourself unable to do so. She is using one of her mind-affecting spells, no doubt. You hear some arcane words, and she allows you to she allows you to look. A part of the map wall has opened up into a door that leads out into a staircase. Azazel pulls you through the door. The infinite staircase, you whisper. You remember this place well from your days as a vampire, when Nerul provided you access from the pit. Back then, she had been trying to lure you to her. Now you are here again, only this time to do the evil goddess's bidding. The staircase goes on infinitely, both up and down, hence its name. All the dimensions of the multiverse are said to be accessible from this place. The door shuts behind you, an old door with dark chipped paint, and the emblem of heart cracked in two. Okay. By the way, I just thought of it. Probably Reginald is the guy whose soul is similar to the guy who was, Nerul's guy, the guy Nerul was in love with. And this is probably going to be like, do you betray Reginald to get her back to the goddess? And then you like, if you betray her, then betray him, then she's going to be like, oh, Reginald, just make your choice. Whatever you say, I'll do. And he's going to like kill him or something like that. I feel like that is what is going to happen, but who knows. Let's see. You wonder if Nerul was so wise as to allow you in here. After all, could you not step through any one of these doors and escape the dark goddess? A strong hand placed on your shoulder answers the question. Azazel is not only my guide but also my captor, you think. A strong hand placed on your shoulder answers the question. But how? I'm inside. Is she coming with me? Oh yeah, she's coming with me. Azazel begins leading you up the staircase, reminding you to learn the gate spell. At first, it's hard to concentrate on the arcane text symbol while stumbling over the stairs. However, the staircase is very consistent. You eventually get into a rhythm. Also, the study helps distract you from your plight, or being led by the shoulder by a demon into a prison world of the abyss. As expected from your memories of this place, there are plenty of illusions populating the stairs and the landing. In your experience, many of these illusions would interact with you. Some would try to tempt you into a particular door. Others would discourage you. Others still seemed to want to chat. All these illusions steer clear of Azazel and fall silent as she approaches. For her part, Azazel does not speak at all, included when you ask questions. Instead, she squeezes your shoulder with her iron grip and hisses at you to return to your study. Finally, after what must have been hours of this, Azazel whispers in your ear. The door to the prison world is guarded. You will not be able to pass inside with your physical body. You must project your soul through the door. You say, what? You say, silence. She hisses and cutting you off. Once inside, you will need to possess someone in order to gain a firmer hold on that world. This is something like the one game. What is it called? Hell? No, not Hell. I don't remember the one with the vagina demons. I don't remember. I don't remember the game, but it was a really good game. It was about hell and possession in this form of in this manner. So whatever. Your spell will end and hold on. Otherwise, your spell will end and you will be forced to return or perhaps even lost between universes. A face worse than anything. Be warned. It is best not to possess a demon unless you have to. Rather possess mortals whenever possible. Possession is the game of the demons, and thus we are difficult to beat. Even if you can manage to possess one of my kind, it will tax your mana dearly. Also, if you value the soul of Reginald, you will not possess him either. Possession can corrupt a spirit, and our mistress will not have her delivery soiled. Another thing about possession, she whispers, even though your soul may reside in the body of another, damage to your new host body damages your life force, albeit not as severely as wounds within your own. Still, if you suffer enough trauma within the body you possess, you will die as though within your own mortal shell. So take care not to abuse your host too much. Take care not to abuse your hosts too much. She she leads you for a few more steps, then pauses. Hold her for a moment. Secures then clasps you with both hands, recites a brief arcane phrase. Her hands turn warm and her eyes glow green for an instant. I have cast a spell of tongues upon you. The world you are traveling to will use languages you cannot understand or speak. Now you will be able to converse with them, at least until the spell wears off. You would do well to study the spell of tongues in your spellbook if you do not already know it. How does she know what spells I have in Spellix spellbook, you wonder? Soon you approach a door with a gelatinous mucus dripping beast guarding the entrance. You would not even know it was alive if not for the mouth that opened from time to time to make a wheezing sound. That door, she whispers, squeezing your shoulder painfully, on my signal. Just as you're about to pass the goo monster, Azazel whispers, now, you see no choice but to cast the spell. But now that you begin to cast, you realize how much power it will take. Do you have the power? Oh shit, you could actually not have the power in this situation. Yes, I do have the mana. You flick your wrist and recite an arcane word. Concentrate hard. Ringing begins in your ear, then suddenly stops as you float into the air. At least your perception is floating, your body still remains behind. The eyes of your former shell are glazed over and your limbs appear frigid, as if you have been turned to stone. Do not dally here. The mucus lips on the goo monster slap together so loud that you can barely make out the words. The beast then flattens itself against the door, creating a barrier. Gods, this thing seeks to block my entrance to the door with its loathsome body, you think. Now you have to make a decision. You can attempt to go through the door anyway, hoping your incorporeal state will allow you to pass through the monster. And the option is to wait and see if the thing will go back to its other form. The only issue is that the staying separate from your body requires power, so you do not want to float around aimlessly for long. Finally, you can return to your body and move on as the beast instructed. After all, you would like to know how Azazel how to deal with this thing. Do you really want to leave your body behind in the staircase? I'm going to wait and see. It might consume a little bit more mana, but it will be better. Perhaps the goo monster will move or something else useful will happen if you wait. You have a nearby invisibility, you hope. Unfortunately, the shapeless demon does not move from the door. Rather, it shouts at Azazel your comatose body to move along. You wonder if it would have been wiser to leave your body when it was farther away so as not to alert this guard. By the time you realize this, you have expended a little bit of mana resisting the seemingly gravitational pull of your body. You decide that you are going to take a chance of pushing through the goo monster. You can either do this or return to your body, which will incite Azazel. Not to mention, you will need to expend even more mana disassociating your soul for another attempt. So I just wasted 2 mana basically. Azazel said that the door is guarded from demons, which would certainly include them projecting their souls through the door, but not protected so well from humans and their soul projections. If you could take a deep breath, you would. Instead, you just pause for a moment as you target yourself on the door and then float straight toward it. You are happily surprised to not be violently repelled or worse trapped within the terrible goo demon. Instead, there is a brief moment of darkness and then you find yourself floating in a staircase. However, this one is very different from the infinite staircase. For one thing, it is not infinite. You are at the bottom. The staircases are going up and the doors are going out. Another difference is the construction. There is no stonework, just a monolithic, smooth substance that makes up the walls and stairs. Even stranger is the people, more specifically how they are dressed. There are three males who we estimate are quite young, not children exactly, but not yet men. They wear clothing that you have never seen the likes of. Intricately woven shirts with blue pants, none of unknown fabric. They are speaking a language that you do not understand. Instead, you have never heard anything like it. It does not seem to be derived from any language you know. One thing is clear, there appear to be confrontation going on. There are two larger boys at the bottom of the stair looking up at the smaller boy who is a few steps up. One of the larger boys seems to be taunting the smaller one. You float about trying to make sense of things, but even the way the windows are built is alien to you. There appears to be a road outside, but it is strange in that it is covered with dark, smooth rock. Gradually, at first, then all at once, the words being spoken in the stairway become clear, although the meaning is not really readily apparent. Thank the gods, the tongue spell is still working. Is working, you think. Gook, the largest boy says, and then looks over at the one standing over next to him. You see, Trevor, you gotta say the words nice and slow like that, otherwise these Cambodian fucks won't understand you. Wait, hold on. So there are people from Earth? How do you know he's Cambodian? The boy you suppose is called Trevor asks. The fuck I know. Maybe he's Chinese or some shit. Easiest to just call him by the real name, though, which is Gook. The larger boy is smiling and his face is flushed with exuberance. Meanwhile, the smaller boy stands on the stairway defiantly but visibly shaking. Gook, dude, it's 1992, not Vietnam and shit, says Trevor. Around the house, they probably just call him bitch anyway. I'm going to the class. What do you have next, Joe? Joe didn't answer. He was watching the kid who was up a few steps. The kid is staring down at Joe. Gook! Joe whispers up the steps, smiling. The threatened boy's face contorts in what appears to be a combination of fear and rage as he squeezes his fists together. Forget him. Come on, Trevor. Come on, says Trevor. Putting a hand on the steel door, leads back outside. Gooky, gooky, gook, Joe taunts, taking one slow steps at a time up the stairway. Dude, I hope he pops you. Trevor calls up the stairway. Now Joe and the smaller boy are standing with their faces only a foot apart. Joe is on the lower step, so they're about level with one another. The smaller boy's chest heaves fast and shallow under his little white shirt. They stand there for a few seconds, and suddenly Joe punches the boy 3 times in the face. The punches come in fast. Slap, slap, slap. Why is the punching sound slap? Joe doesn't put his body into it. What? They're only jabs. The first two hit square and snap the boy's head back, so the third jab just grazes his cheek. After the punches, Joe puts his fist up as though getting ready to block retaliation. His victim, with his right cheek turning red where he has been hit, faces Joe defiantly but does not move. Joe puts down his fist and extends a big toothy smile as he whispers, "That's right, Gook. Do you want some more?" Just then a couple of girls come down along the stairway, a backpack slung sloppily over one shoulder. At first they make as though to pass around Joe and his victim, but then they see that something is not quite right, and they just stop. Stammers one of the girls, her eyes wide with surprise and heavily layered with eyeshadow. What? Makeup? Okay. Joe looks up at the boys and then back at the boy. Kiss my shoe or piss yourself. It's your choice. Give these girls a show or I'll hurt you real bad. Just then you begin to feel yourself being stretched and your vision begins to dim. Gods, I must find a host body soon, or I will be forced back from whence I came, you realize. The only prospective host bodies are at hand are within this stairwell. You decide not to possess the one called Gook, although you presume that is not his real name. He appears to have had enough punishment for one day. Demons and the damned, that's what are supposed to be in this world. But who is who and where is Reginald? From what you understand, his soul could be housed in any of these bodies, and you can hear that Reginald's soul is near. You don't want to take a chance of possessing him. So I'm going to take possession of one of the girls, Joe or Trevor. Trevor? I think it might be. No, it can't be. Let's just take control of Trevor, I guess. It takes only a moment to realize that you have possessed the body of an extraordinary spirit, a fundamentally good spirit. Oh shit, what's happening? He screams in his head. Without hesitation, you leave his body. Reginald, you wonder. Trevor puts his hand over his face for a moment, but then seems to recover. Damn, he mutters. What do you do? Let's possess Joe then. Who dares invade my body? A dark voice echoes in your consciousness as you enter Joe's body. The soul squirms away as you try to grapple with it. Then it turns back and attacks you. Demon, you realize. You are not practiced enough in possession to take on a creature that has likely been possessing bodies for centuries, if not millennia. Not only are you unable to suppress the demon's soul and take possession of his body, you are barely able to escape the body at all. Nevertheless, you escape, and once again, you find yourself invisibly floating over the stairwell. Joe has covered his face as if he has a headache, but he recovers quickly to continue his taunting. So Trevor is not going to be one of the girls, I guess. Decide that one of the girls is the best bet for possession. Nothing about them says demon, and you have seen a few demons possession in your time. Joe, on the other hand, might well be possessed by a demon. Yeah, I have seen that. And Trevor, you're not sure about him, although admittedly, you're not too sure about anything here. You concentrate on the girls who has been stammering, willing yourself inside of her. Rapidly, you fly down into her, and everything goes dark for a moment. You then feel as if you're pushing against some great weight, and there are deafening screams of rage. Something is on top of you, suffocating you. Although you know you have no lungs, and you find yourself face down on the stairs. The stone is cold. The concrete is the word. Now there are now you are sharing consciousness with someone from this world. You're able to draw upon her mind to some degree. You pull yourself to your knees, look up to see Joe and the boy he had been bullying staring down at you. Joe's look of surprise turned to a wry smile. Hey sweetie, since you're down there anyway. He then unbuckles his bed. You stand up. Oh my god, Heather, are you okay? The other girl standing next to you asks. You answer. Your vocal cords are tight. You can feel another presence in your mind, squirming. The soul whose body this belongs. I did not suppress her fully, you think. Crazy bitch. Joe mutters, turning his back to the Asian kid, as your host refers to him. So if she's not going to do what needs to be done, how about you? I already undid my belt, so Joe glares at the Asian boy expectantly. For shit's sakes, Joe, are you seriously going to keep this up? Let's go, calls Trevor from down the stairs. Despite his alien clothing and manner of speaking, there's something incredibly familiar about Trevor. You can't describe it. It is like you can smell his soul. Reginald, you wonder, maybe? Nell was right to send you. Only you would be drawn to your childhood friends regardless of what body he's in. What do? You don't care much for the Joe and his shenanigans. Perhaps a swift kick to the crotch would end this whole scenario. Then you could talk to Reginald. A less attractive measure might be to just tell Joe to stop. And finally you could fry him. Now that you have a physical body again, you should be able to cast a firebolt spell. Although this seems a bit overkill. If Joe is one of the demon guards of the Hell Prison, it would serve him right. I don't want to do any of these. Although it seems overkill, if Joe is one of the... Yeah, he is a demon guard actually, so might as well fry him. You step back, cast a spell. Joe and Asian boys are concentrating on each other. Trevor is looking down the stairway out of the window, as though looking for someone. Oh my god, Heather, your hand is on fire. The girl your host had been walking with says in a terrified whisper. Extinguish the spell immediately. From the look in her eyes, you can tell she's unfamiliar with such spells. Gods, I must not stand out so much. If I wish to find Reginald and rescue him, you chastise yourself. Man, everything is a problem, is it not? Joe, is it? You ask. You feel... Man, I've dropped so many points. I think I've made continuous 3 to 4 decisions that are wrong. Joe, is it? You ask. You feel such a rush of shock hearing your own feminine voice that you're barely able to focus on the task. It does not appear this one has done you any harm. Why not leave him be? And why don't you suck this? He points to his crotch. That's too much. You punch him in the face. Unfortunately, you're not used to this body and it is not very strong to begin with. Your fist connects with flesh, but it's only a glancing blow, bitch. He yells, he backhands you hard. You fall to the floor and kicks you in the rib. Joe, Trevor shouts. rushing up the stairs, shoving Joe away from you. The Asian boy take this opportunity to kick Joe in the crotch. Joe lets out a jagged groan as he hits the stairs. The Asian boy smiles and then commences savagely kicking Joe on the ground. Hey, Trevor booms, pulling back a fist threatening at the Asian boy. Oh my god, Heather, are you okay? The girl next to you exclaims. You get up slowly, the Asian boy then has stopped kicking Joe and he's running up the stairs out of sight. You grab Trevor by the arm. Let's go, you say. Still trying to get used to this strange language. Damn dude, says Trevor, looking down at Joe, who's rolled up in a protective fetal position. Let's go, you repeat, pulling on Trevor's arm. Yeah, Heather, let's get out of here before the hall monitors show up. Wheezes the other girl. Go, you yell at the girl. She looks at you like you're crazy and then runs down the stairs. Bitch. Joe groans at you as he begins to uncurl on the ground. Try to leave with Trevor, I guess. The fuck is this? Come, this is so very unseemly. You say to Trevor as you pull him down the stairs. He follows out through the double door out into the sunshine outside. Yeah, Joe can be a jerk sometimes when he's like that. I try to distract him, but Trevor trails off looking at you as though expecting you to finish his sentence. There's a flash in your mind. Something in his eyes brings you certainty. Reginald, you whisper furiously, embracing him. Oh wow, he stammers. Then you disengage, you see confusing in his eyes. Reginald, do you remember me? You ask. Actually, my name is Trevor, he says. No, it's Reginald. What? You think I'm a tard? I know my own name, he says. It is not. I shall call you Reginald until you remember. You smile broadly. It feels so good to see him again. He does not act or look like he did in your world. But just feeling his soul nearby fills you with joy. Look, I can tell you might be into me. This isn't one of those things where chicks pretend a guy is someone like a celebrity. My dad says girls like fantasies. Yes, we do, you say, taking another look down at your curvaceous body. And I want to call you Reginald. How about Reg? That sounds kind of badass. Sure, you agree. Reg then. Just better not to be the name of your ex or something, he mutters. By this time, you've walked around the corner of the strange concrete building with no grout between the stones. I found him, you think. Now you just need to get him out of this prison world. You think you know the gate spell, however, it takes a lot of power. Azazel told you that you could crush souls to gain power. A demon soul, thanks to its age, would supply a good deal of power. And crushing a demonic soul would not weigh too much on your consciousness. However, you will probably need several lesser demonic souls or one powerful one. You could start with that boy named Joe in the stairwells. He may well be a demon. The problem is that the harvesting spell requires you to kill the victim, so as to harvest a portion of the energy from the soul before it moves on to the next. Okay, so crushing doesn't mean like completely destroying the soul. It's like just taking a part of it. If it's you wonder if it's acceptable to openly kill here in this prison world. Perhaps it would be best to move on and identify some other demons or even a more powerful demon, as Azazel has recommended at one point in the infinite stairway. Finally, another option is to spend some time talking to Reginald. Perhaps you could learn something useful. The downside, of course, is that time is of essence. You're slowly draining mana trying to hold on to this world. Holy shit. Everything's a fucking problem. Let's just get some mana first of all. Yeah, let's get all of in mana. No thanks. Whew. This is going to be one difficult fucking situation. How am I supposed to deal with this? Even like every situation, every single one of these choices is a goddamn pain in the ass to deal with. Like you could go back to Joe because he's the one, he's probably one of the prison guards. We already saw inside his body that he's actually has the soul of a demon. So he is a demon, we know that. How strong is he though? We don't know. If we will be able to kill him, we don't know. Talking to Reginald would just drain more mana. I don't know if I should be. And I feel like if I look for another demon I don't know, maybe the good option would be to look for another demon, but I don't know how much time I have. I don't want to go back to Joe. Fuck me. You know what? Let's just end it here. We're gonna continue with this next time around. I know I'm leaving in a bit of a cliffhanger, but there's a link in the description. Go check that out. It's for my Twitter. Go follow me there. There's also a link to my Patreon where I play hentai games, and the first series is going to be public, so you can go watch that. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.